Okay. So, like I said, with I've downloaded the file called peng CSV. Now, this downloaded file now, I put it to you that is on my machine already from here. So if I go to my download, because my working directory is download, let me search. Where is it? Fresh. I can say peng. Okay. Or best bets. Let me search for it. Peng. P-E-N-G. Okay, wow. Today is 26. 8:55. Peng. Have you seen it now? You just downloaded not quite long. 8:55 p.m. Are we good? Yeah. So let me open it. Stylishly, let me open it. Okay. Good. Now this is the file. Imagine on a normal day, I'm very stubborn. When it comes to data, I will get a CSV file, I will import it and do my own shenanigan. Right now, we're getting data from a working directory. We're getting data from a repository, an open source repository, which is the almighty GitHub. So, should in case you've been trying to look for how to connect data set from GitHub to your ID, whatever ID you're using, either the Positron or the Jupyter Notebook or the R Studio, which is called Posit, or your Visual Studio. Welcome. I can just go to Google, type in the name of the data set that will link me to, or what's it called, to GitHub. Then I'll copy the HTTP, the URL, and put it there and do my whatever. They will drag it out for me. Okay, let me go back to where I'm coming from. So let's see. Oh, okay. Now, this data set is 344 observation. 344 observation. So I don't have issues with this. Let me go back to Positron. So now let's see what we have. I'll come here. I'm calling data set peng. Let me call it P. So the new variable name, I want to call it P. Or could I call it DF? Because it's data frame, DF. Okay, I'll do like this. Control Enter. Now, if you check the fourth pane where my cursor is now, look at the DF here. If I click down here, you see my data set. My data set have been read. So I can choose to enlarge this. I can choose to, then go up like this. Have you seen my data set? Yes. At this junction, there is a button here. If I click on the button, it will show me something else. We're still coming to that. Okay? We're coming. So the data set has been imported. Good. So what's the next thing? If you check, wow, we've not named this thing we're working on. We've not named it. Let's name it data wrangling. I would say Control S. I'll say data minus wrangling. Then save as, look at it, R by default. Okay, I'll say save. Automatically it's saved. If you come to this project name called capital letter data wrangling, if I click on this arrow, have you seen it now? We have data wrangling in R extension. We have peng data. Everything that you did will be stored there. Are we good now? Automatically, by default, there's a folder in my laptop now that is called data wrangling in capital letter. And when I open that folder, then I will see data wrangling.r, the R extension, my codes. I will see peng.csv, the data set itself, in that folder. And that folder is in my download because my download is my working directory. Most of you can use your drive C as your working directory. No wahala. Now look at something now. I can choose to come down here. Okay. I can say get working directory in brackets, run it. Have you seen it now? It said from C drive, look at it, download. From download, you get data wrangling. I've listed it now. So please, it's not about we running our code or understanding the code. It's about you understanding how to do a proper setup. If you understand your IDE very well, you can do a whole lot of shenanigans whereby you'll be happy. Now, writing code for data wrangling, data cleaning, and the likes is very possible right now. But with data positron, it's like you having a drop down. I'm going to show you what we have here. Okay. So, what's the next thing I want to do now? Next thing I want to do now is, let me go back to my editor. Okay, since I've read the data set. Good, wow. Let me put an hashtag so we know that we read the data set. Read the data set. Good. We're good with that. So the next thing is, let's see the data set, glimpse. Let's see it. Let's see the data set. Now, any code I'm writing here will also work for our studio. Good. Now, let's view the data set. View the data set. I'm going to put an hashtag for commenting. Okay. So let's see what we have. Good. Hope I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. I think I'm recording. Yep, I'm recording. Good. I want to confirm that. Okay. So let's view the data set. We use DPLY, DPLYR, DPLYR, double ratio. Then the next thing is glimpse. Okay, there's an extension, glimpse. What? DF. That's the name of the data set we have. DF. Let me run it. Control Enter. I've listed it now. Let me drag this up. Now look at what we have here. If we check the fourth pane, the data set we have there is what we have here. In short, it's telling you that we have 344 rows and 7 columns. Do you understand? And it's a data frame. Whenever anything is a data frame, it means that thing is in a tabular format. It has rows and columns. Okay, and okay, I don't talk too much about that. Now, check my output now. Glimpse. It's giving me my data set in transpose format. Okay, it's telling me the one that is a character. We have 2 characters. Sure, we have 3 characters, which is a string. We have double. Double is a float. We have 2 doubles, and we have 2 integers. Integers are numbers that without no decimal points. Doubles are numbers that have decimal points. In Python, double the number that has decimal points is called a float. In R, we call them double. Okay, so let me go back to good. Now, what's the next thing I want to do? Okay, I'm trying to wrangle around my data. Let's see what we can achieve and what we cannot achieve. So let's see. Everybody know this. Let's check the first 6 observations. Check the first 6 observations. Now, I put it to your table. If it's RStudio, if you use the add function, it will give you the first 5 inputs. But at this junction, this one will give you by default first 6 input. Check the first observation, the first 6 observation. Okay, so I'm going to put an hashtag. Oh, some people are waiting. Admit. Okay. Hashtag. Now, okay. At this point, what will I do? Add function. Everybody know this add function. I can tell you by default, I can put df inside. That will run it. Sorry, I went to do Control Enter. I'm wrong. When it comes to positron, you do Control, okay, Control Enter. Have you seen it now? Sorry. Have you seen it now? The first 6 inputs. If I'm using our studio, I did the add function, it will give me the first 5 inputs. So there are new possible things found in Positron. Now, if I want to get the first 10 inputs, I'll just come here, I'll say, comma, should I say 10? 10 or n equal to 10. Let me try this so that it will work. Okay. Okay. Control Enter. Yeah. Go. Okay. Have you seen it now? Comma 10, give me the first 10 input. I think that's fair enough. So we can view my data set. The penguin data set. Can we view? Are you good? Good. So same thing goes to the tail function. Without not taking much time, I can just go by default. I don't need 10. I need Control Enter. We're good. So I'll just come tail function. I'll copy this, Control Copy. That's Control C. Then the last 6 inputs, the last 6 observation, I'll tell you the tail in brackets. Then DF is the name of the data set. Oh, I'm still doing Shift Enter, which is wrong. Control Enter. Okay, it gave me the last 6 inputs. Okay, I think we're seeing what's happening now. So now, what's the next thing I want to do? I want to convert the column. There's a column called sex. That column is a string. You know, when it comes to R programming, the moment you want to wrangle your data set, you want to make it workable, usable, then there are some things you need to do. We use the word factor to convert a categorical feature categorical feature a categorical feature. If you want to convert it into a numerical value, you convert it to a factor. Factor means that the variable is having a alphanumeric. It's having a sense of number and a sense of characters. Are you good? It can be an ordinal or a nominal. Do you get it? So at this junction, sex is strictly nominal. So I want to convert to a factor. So what will I do? Let me cast it. Hashtag cast sex. Cast sex to factor. Now there are a lot of questions asked. What any code I'm writing here is normal. Is it normal? Any code I'm writing here is normal. Do you get it? So what will happen? Stylishly, because I want to create a new column called sex factor, I will tell you, okay, the name of our data set is called DF. I'll use the $sign. Okay. Once you do $sign, if you check everything here, these are the variables inside your data. We have species, we have island, we have build length, build depth, flipper length, body mass grams, and sex. But we do not have sex underscore factor. So I want to create a new column. I'll call it sex underscore factor. Okay? Because I want that, no problem. Then I'll do this. Good. So what's the next thing? I'll use as dot factor to convert what? To convert DF $sign sex. Then if I do control enter, control enter, that's converted. Now check my fourth pane here. This point, see, there's a new feature called sex factor. Are you good? There's a new feature called sex factor. I can choose to click on this arrow down, boom, and see what is inside. But mind you, I put it to your table that this data set has missing value. If you check very well, which I want to do. Now, I've added a new feature. I've added a new feature called sex factor. Okay? So the next thing is to do for me to do now is to view this thing. So let me view them. The view function. Okay? Let's see. Let me do the view function. Let's see what we're having. Let me view that. View. Let me view. Okay? What will I do? I'll just directly tell you view, V-I-E-W, bracket, D-F. Okay? Control, enter. Wow, there's an error. Okay? Why is there an error? I don't know. But I'll check. It's telling me that could not find the view. Let me see. V-I-E-W. That's view. Okay? I'm very stubborn. Let me see. Capital letter V. Control, enter. Good. Now, I got it wrong initially. I used small letter V instead of capital letter V. Okay? Now, at this junction, this view I did now. Okay? Let me bring down this. Come in. I need to bring down this. Okay? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, good. Have you seen it now? Good. I use the view function. These are my data. I have species. I have island. I have, with this now, you can know that they are missing value. Look at, we have not available, not available. Are you good with that? Yeah. No, and again, aside not available, there are empty spaces. So mind you, from my own wrangling, data wrangling principle, there's NA not available. There's NAN, not a number. Why there are some cells that are empty. At this junction, if I want to actually clean my data sets according, I will make sure I write a code whereby where there is NA, where there is NAN, and where there are empty cell, I'll make sure all of them are NA. Then I can now decide, maybe I want to replace that column with a numerical value, or I want to replace it with a string, or I want to drop them. It depends on my on what I perceive at that junction or how I'm doing it. Are we good? So with the function of view, you can view your data set and know what's trending. So now, why did I do the view function? Two things made me do the view function. For me to be able to see my features, one, and two, for me to be able to tell you that the new column that I created called sex underscore factor has been created. Now, at this point, this Positron is kind of unique in the sense that it's giving you an avenue for you to do what they call data to filtering. For you to be able to filter your data, if I click on these three dots here, boom, wow, I can add filter, I can sort. Sorting means either you arrange in ascending or descending. It's working like this almighty, what's it called? Power BI, or whatever, or Excel, at that junction. So aside that, now if you check very well, let me release this part. Let me come back here. You check this part that have A means is a string. A means is a string. This pound sign means it's an integer or a double, or you call it a float. So once you see letter A, Positron make it that a string should be noted as A, while a number should be noted as the hashtag or the pound sign. Are we good? Good. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. I can choose to what's it called? Close this data df. So I'm back to my code. Are we good? Now, let's do what they call summary, descriptive statistics. descriptive. I'm going to put an hashtag. So I'll tell you summary. Then inside, I'll put df. Then run it. Control enter. Okay, there's a problem. Let's see the problem. Okay, good. There's no problem. I've seen the df now. The df give me the descriptive statistics of my data set. Are you good? The ones that are characters, it allow it to for it to know their characters. Like the class, so like the species and the island, they are characters. And okay, why the bill length, bill depth, the flippers length, the body mass in grams are doubles and integer. Now, at this junction, not taking, we have sex as a default feature initially, but I created a new feature called sex factor, which I converted to a factor. Have you seen it now? It has a number. So, once you convert your variable or your feature to a factor, it's having alphanumeric signs. At that junction, you see, sex is known as character because it's the inputs are male or female. But once I convert to a factor, it's now seen as an alphanumeric, alphabet and number in nature. So at that junction, it's reading it for me that we're having female 165 and male 168. Are we good with that? Now, the main reason I'm doing this with R today because I don't want it to be like a biasness that we're talking about positron. And positron talks about an idea for data science. And data science is not only meant for the Python people, it's meant for the R people. Are you good? And some years back, there's a fight about Python is better than R. And why most of us that love R say R is better than Python. Deep in our hearts, we know we love R, but we did a whole lot to make sure we are still with R today. And mind you, R and Python are now brother and sister. They are now husband and wife. They are now colleagues. You know, they are working together, standard. So welcome to the world, everybody. So at this junction, I did what they called summary. He gave me that. So what will I do again? Let me do what they call the scheme. Let me scheme this. If it not work, then we'll know what to do. Let me scheme. SKIMR. I'll put double colon. Then I'll say scheme. Inside, I'll put df. Let me run it. Control enter. Wow. It's telling me something. What's it telling me? Now, mind you, whenever you have an error, you should be sensitive to know what the problem is. Are you good? You should be able to know what the problem is. Don't just give up that I have an error. No. So I have an error now. What will I do? I have to apply wisdom to know what to do. So I need to install a library called scheme. Are you good? I need to install a library called scheme. Now let me see. So I'll come to this, my console, my editor. This part that I'm typing my code is the editor. This part that is bringing out my output is the console, and it has terminals, it has problem, it has an output, it has ports, and the like. So as time goes on, we'll be talking about a whole lot of few points there. Now, the scheme function is not working. So let me install. I'll tell you, what will I do now? Okay, install packages. Inside, I have to tell you scheme R. Scheme R. Let me run it. Control enter. If you're using a Mac, you do command enter. Okay. So this library is installing. Okay, good. So it's done installing. So now let me come back here. This one I installed now, this I need to put an hashtag so that I'll not go and run it again. So this is my, what's it called? Let me take it here. Control cuts. Come back here. To be. Now let me run it. Line 31, Control Enter. Wow, it's still telling me something. What's the problem? Okay. I don't know the problem. Let's see, Scheme R. Okay. The next 10 minutes, this we end. Please, you can kindly reconnect. Scheme SKIR. Let me see the problem. Okay. Let me see the problem. It's like it's a problem. Skimmed, variable name. Okay. Let's see. Am I getting it wrong? All right. And let's see what I have again. Ooh. Trust me. Wow. When you run a library, when you store a package, you have to run the library. I think that's what's trending. Are you good? So the DPLY, okay. Let's see what we have. We haven't run a library DPLY. So please, let me do something here. I'll come here, library, okay. I'll do like this. DPLYR, come here, control, enter. Okay. So control, enter. Still give me an error. I don't know the problem. I think I'll check what the problem is later. Now let's see what we have now. Now, error encounter in group 1, scheme type, characters, and the likes. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. Let me see. Okay, someone is writing. See, same thing. So let me leave the scheme function now because I've not used it. Okay. So now, that's part 1, by the way. Now, one thing I want to say is this. This is your data. We can do a lot of data manipulation with it. I can come to this box here. Is it a box? I do not see it very well. Okay, I can just click on this. When I click on it, I'm having this. Okay, then aside that, I can choose to come here. I click on this. Okay, like I said, the view function bring out all this. That's case number 1. This is a function of data wrangling when it comes to positron. Now, there's something called Quarto. And let me use that, Quarto. Okay, let me close this. Quarto. What happened? For Quarto, initially, when you type your R code, you want to knit it. When I use the word knit, you want it to be in form of HTML format, or you want all what you type your output to be in doc format, or your output to be in what's it called? PDF format. You are knitting it. In that junction, you're not just working alone, you're working with Quarto. Initially, we use what's the thing called? We use Markdown, R Markdown. But the moment the Quarto extension comes to play, then we're good to go. Now at this junction, I will do this, Control S. Now, these samples I'm doing, I don't have it initially. I just run this because what I have initially is a code for back end and front end because I did a machine learning algorithm, which is linear regression model. I save it with the job link and I create a GUI, a front end using a TK inter. Initially, I want to use Flask and Django, but I noticed that there will be too much libraries extension on the likes, and I don't want to confuse anybody here. That's why I went for a very simple GUI, which is the TK inter, which is easy to understood for now. So that will be for tomorrow workshop, because tomorrow workshop will be straightforward. At that junction, everybody will not be new with Positron. We know that, okay, in Positron, I can import a new file or a new folder or a new, whatever the case is. Now, at this junction, I want to knit a package in R. So my result will come out in an R, in a doc file. What will I do? So I'll go to File. I'll go to New File, click on it. Then you will see R file, Python file, Jupyter Notebook, Quarto documents, Quarto projects. I don't want to go to projects. I want to go to document. I'll click on project. Okay, good. Clicking on this now. Wow, this is what it's having. Let me call it, what can I call it? Can give it a good name. Okay. Let me give it a name. I can call it, what will I call this now? Let me call this training, post training. Okay. Post workshop, positron workshop, positron workshop. Okay. Good. I think that's fair enough. Okay. Now, what will I do? So we need to write something. I can tell you the first one. Let me adjust this. I don't need this. Let me adjust this proper. Come back here. Let me come here. Control L. Control L is to clear all your code, all your output in your console. It's normal, the RStudio codes that you can do. So I can also adjust this. Okay, good. Now this junction, I can tell you, what's it called? No. Oh, sorry for that. There's something I want to write out, which is, okay, close this. Boom. Okay. Okay, this. I can tell you inside 1 plus 1. Okay. Then close it. Control. What's that thing? Sorry. Come in. So I did 1 plus 1. Okay. 1 plus 1. I can run it. Can run it. What's happening here? Okay. Okay. I'm coming. Trying to see. Let me get a very sweet code. Okay. 1 minute. Stop sharing. Okay. Okay, good. I've seen what I'm looking for. Positron. Let me share my admit and back. Okay, good. So now, concerning Quarto, I can tell you, I need to rename it. Control S. Okay. Or better still, go to File, Save As. I can go to Save As. It's not bringing out Save As. Wrangling, this. Then I can rename. Rename. Where is it at? I need to rename this. Okay. File, Save. Save As. Okay. Good. I can tell you Positron. Positron. Okay. Posit learn. Let me just use that. Good. So what will I do now? I'll directly come to download, then save. Now I've named it Posit learn now. At this point, what did I want to do? I want to write a code. Okay. Let me copy my code somewhere. Control V. Let me enlarge it. Okay. Boom. Okay, good. So look at this now. First thing first, I load 3 library, stats, cable extra, and ggplots. They have their functionality. Should the case you ask, I can give you the reason why we're using stats, or ggplot, and we're using cable extra.